welcome to the Politic Furs podcast with my co-host, Cwittz. I'm Eddy, and there's supposed to be three other people here, but due to work, they're not able to be here, so they'll be missed.
Sadly enough.
But yeah. So, what should we jump into first? Cwittz?
Well, the first one that I had was the leftist furs, and I do have quite a few examples ready to talk about. The first one is started with a tweet by one of our hosts that was supposed to be with us but couldn't because she's at work today. So she tweeted, "Dear furry fandom, you're so angry. Before you hit that tweet button next time, consider this. Anger builds nothing and destroys everything. Speaking when you are angry and you will make the greatest speech you will ever regret." And I liked it because I agreed with it. And I also said that if you focus your anger, you can do something with it. You can actually do something other than just carrying it down, which it gave us another example I will get into after this. And this person went into my life and found the tweet and added me saying, DJ Cwittz liked this post and has centrist right in his profile. Gee, I wonder why a centrist right-winger benefits from POC being quiet about their abuse. And I'm not. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what you look like. I care that you're a person. And I'm against anyone being silenced. Got their pinned tweet as a response, and I said, gee, I wonder why someone against being center-right would post either of these things. And the picture for their pinned tweet is a bunch of gay people in a steamroller running over cops. So they replied, I wonder, and it's just a picture of a guy bleeding in a wheelchair. One of the pictures has cops in the background. And that's it. They gave me zero context. They didn't give me an article or anything or a story. They just gave me a picture. They didn't tell me if he was shot by police or by rioters. They didn't tell me if anything happened in self-defense, because wheelchair or not, you can still hold a gun. You can still attack someone. You just can't do things with your legs.
Yeah.
And then they told me, look it up yourself. Homeless man shot in eye by police, which I'm sure you can do some dig up magic context that makes everything okay for your boot-looking fascist A. And someone gave another example, so obviously that means that this happened more than once, and that means that I probably wouldn't be able to find this specific case just by Googling someone in a wheelchair being shot by police. You got to give me your source.
Definitely.
And my response to the second person was, hell, at least you gave me a link instead of just a picture of a bleeding man. They responded, you were the one pulling up my anti-cop images. If cops hadn't been brutalized in people, especially within the past few weeks, LO. I can hear the mental gymnastics trying to defend and justify the cops beating and shooting innocent people. Which, in a lot of cases, they're not. These are riots. People are being shot in self-defense. Everything's happening. Nothing good that is happening in a lot of cases should be what's happening. And I pulled up an anti-cop image of their pinned tweet in response to something they did going through my likes. They came at me. I didn't do anything to them that would instigate something. So that's the first example of how extremist people can be. And next is someone's response to me saying the anger can be focused. Well, if it's focused and well-controlled, it can do good things, but it's very hard to control. The irony of you using the Irish tricolor. Remember how Ireland peacefully convinced British to stop colonizing them. Ooh woo. Well, they didn't do as well as the other flag in my profile picture. But I'm still Irish myself by lineage and proud of my Irish American ancestors for rising above their oppression from both British tyranny and anti-Irish Americans, which did happen. There are pictures of signs of Irish need not apply. And I was at a family reunion one time, and apparently one of my great grandfathers was anti-Irish himself on my mom's side, and he fought with a lot of Irish when he was young. Like, I don't hold that against him. Other than that, as far as I could tell, he was a good person for what and for this person thinks that the Irish are the past, or at least being center right, or at least they seem to think that means that either you're libertarian and against how Irish beat cops, and I don't know the full history of Irish rebellions, and I don't know if they do either. But I think it's very similar to Hong Kong, where sometimes they fight an oppressive government and end up taking it too far when they fight back. And they responded again, yeah, nah, you're far effing removed from Ireland, thankfully. If you can't see how supporting the same shiz that steamrolled us and nearly wiped our culture off the map makes you one of the baddies, then you're lost to us. Oh, by the way, zoophilia is animal abuse, because I've got a zoophile symbol crossed out, and on PC, which is what they were on, it just shows a little box next to it. So I understand the misunderstanding there. Seeing that your ancestors did wrong isn't disowning them, and I had guessed that they were British and salty. They couldn't hold on to their precious empire. Because I can very much see British people having that mentality. Oh, fair enough. It's just the symbol and the box next to it for me, so I'm relieved to retract that. But no, I'm not British. I'm actually Irish, writing this from Ireland with family that fought and died for Ireland. So I don't know what they're trying to tell me with that first one. I don't know what they mean by that. I support this oppression of Irish people, which I don't. I am very much for Ireland becoming fully independent, but I don't have much say in the politics of the UK, seeing as I'm full-blood American and have never even left the country. So I don't know what your goal is for that, man. And then the final example with pictures given is, I don't even know what to look up to find this case. Use your eyes and your brain. Come on. There's all of this visual information you need. There's a homeless man who appears to be injured and shot during what looks like a protest. I'm sure you can figure out some way to, I don't know, put these details into Google and find it. And it's like, yeah, this is the only homeless man in a wheelchair that's been shot. Okay. Yeah, that's... Oh, you got to give your links, people. If you can't give your links, then all I have to believe you is your word. So for argument's sake, I'll take that sometimes, but I can't do it every time. And if you can't prove what you're saying is true, and you can't give proper context to say that this thing is on your side, then I don't think you can keep the argument going. And I've got one more example, and let me find the picture for it. So I made a post a while ago of Dr. Jordan Peterson saying that wrong thing very much, saying that the anthropomorphization of animals is something as bad as an ideology from the 1950s, which I think he is fully correct in that, thinking that it's not something that we should be using today. It's not right that it's a bad thing. And there's only half the conversation with this, because removed and deleted, and the comments were all deleted. but I made this post to Reddit to the furry subreddit saying he's one of us, and they just went off on me, telling me that me and Dr. Jordan Peterson are both far right, alt right is what they said, extremists. And then the argument went into like fascism and stuff, and how Dr. Jordan Peterson is a racist and everything, and clearly they were someone that didn't ever listen to him. And I didn't get the full screenshot of the conversation, but it went deep. And they brought up the argument of why free speech brings forth intolerance, and that tolerance brings forth intolerance, and almost 250 years of free speech and no Nazism here. That's all I had to say to that. And I think it was you that brought forth someone by the name of Vex Werewolf, or was that Vester?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, then I can look up his profile a little bit on Twitter, and we can go through that. So, the bio is furry, she, her, werewolf, maned wolf, gay, pride flag, white flag, transgender emojis. Trans femme, non-binary, fursuiter, writer, Discord digits, I think, I'm not sure. Icon by and then just icon and art stuff for the rest. So that's kind of a lot to go through already. So
Okay, I just switched to my phone microphone, so that should make it a lot better.
Okay, I can hear you a little better. So,
yeah,
by her words, and I'm calling her because it's polite. We're not getting into a pronouns debate about it. She's a she. Trans femme, non-binary. Like, I'm all for saying that you're or the other gender. Go ahead and say you are. But I think you got to make a choice. You can't say that you're a she, her, and then trans femme, non-binary, because those two things, it's one or the other.
well, with people just, I have my own views on that stuff. But what it boils down to is, the underlying thing. And I don't want to get into the whole spiel right now.
Yeah, it's a bit of a rabbit hole.
Yeah, it's a rabbit hole, and I'm just going to talk about for the whole podcast, and that's not exactly what I have intended.
Yeah, we've got a couple other topics to get to today.
Yeah, definitely. Well, people, where's their profile? Did you send it? Let me check it out.
I can link it.
Yeah. My typing's gone slower because I've been doing a lot less typing. Unfortunately. Okay, Vex.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know what this is. I'm pretty sure I'm blocked by this person. I am blocked! Okay, we're going in private mode now.
Yeah.
Oh no, I put an extra symbol at the end. Dang it. Alright, let's see. Okay. So I'm looking at her profile, and Vex, I mean, she was this person really is, because, well, okay, back to this point I was making. Isn't the point of becoming trans to quote unquote correct to make a correction of what you are, and becoming something else? Wouldn't that be counterproductive? I don't know. It's just my main concern. In a lot of cases, I like to hold a libertarian view. It's like, if you want to do that, and I may not see that as a good thing for you personally, I mean, that's up to you.
Yeah. Like
Yeah, that's how I generally am.
that's my view. Like